Ever imagine yourself like building the heart of a massive ship?
Mm-hmm.
Today's deep dive takes us into the world of vessel engine assembly.
Okay.
And thanks to our friends at RoleCatcher,
Right.
we're going way beyond just nuts and bolts.
Mm. Yeah.
Get ready for some seriously cool tech.
You're in for a ride. When most people think vessel engine,
Yeah,
they picture a giant, greasy diesel engine.
which, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
sounds pretty impressive on its own.
Oh, absolutely. But it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Really?
We're talking electric motors,
Okay.
cutting-edge gas turbines,
Wow.
even nuclear reactors on some vessels.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Nuclear reactors.
Yeah.
That's not your average engine repair course.
Right.
What are we talking about with that kind of assembly?
We're talking next-level precision in safety measures.
Yeah.
Imagine working in a shipyard or manufacturing plant
Okay.
surrounded by some of the most advanced technology on the planet. It's a high-stakes environment where even the tiniest error could have major consequences.
So no pressure then.
Right.
I guess that also means we're not just talking about basic wrench-turning skills here.
Right.
What does RoleCatcher say about the day-to-day life of a vessel engine assembler?
Think of it like this. You're not just putting together an engine.
Yeah.
You're bringing to life a complex machine that has to withstand incredible forces and operate flawlessly, often miles offshore.
Wow.
That means deciphering intricate technical drawings,
Okay.
wielding specialized tools,
Yeah.
and rigorously inspecting every component.
It sounds like a career that requires a unique blend of technical expertise, meticulous attention to detail,
Yeah.
and a whole lot of problem solving.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
It's that ability to not only follow instructions, but to understand the why behind every bolt and gasket that sets these professionals apart.
Right.
They're like the surgeons of the mechanical world.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued. Walk us through what a typical day might look like for one of these engine whisperers.
A typical day usually kicks off by diving into those technical drawings,
Okay.
which are like the engine's instruction manual.
Okay.
They lay out everything, how it all fits together, what materials to use the works.
Wow.
From there, it's all about bringing those blueprints to life.
So you've got your game plan.
Yeah.
And now it's time to put those mechanical skills to the test.
Precisely. You're building and installing prefabricated parts,
Okay.
ensuring everything aligns perfectly,
Right.
and making sure every bolt is tightened to the exact specification.
Yeah.
It's a meticulous dance of precision and strength.
There's something so satisfying about seeing a massive project come together piece by piece,
Yeah.
especially when it's something as powerful as a ship engine.
Mm-hmm.
But it can't be all smooth sailing, right?
Right.
What happens when something goes wrong?
That's where the real problem-solving skills come in.
Okay.
Remember those technical drawings? They're essential, but sometimes you encounter a faulty part or something doesn't quite fit as expected.
Right.
That's when experience and a deep understanding of how all the engine systems interact become invaluable.
So it's not just about following a script.
Right.
It's about being able to improvise and think critically when challenges arise.
Exactly.
You really need to know your stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what does RoleCatcher say about the path to becoming a vessel engine assembler?
Okay.
Is it all about hands-on experience,
Right.
or is formal education a must-have?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
While a high school diploma or equivalent is usually the bare minimum, many employers prefer candidates with some vocational or technical training in mechanical assembly or a related field.
Okay.
It gives you a solid foundation in the fundamentals.
So you can jumpstart your career with the right training.
Right.
But what about those who are already in the field?
Yeah.
How do they stay ahead of the curve in such a constantly evolving industry?
Lifelong learning is the name of the game here.
Okay.
Think workshops,
Mm-hmm.
additional certifications,
Right.
staying up to date with the latest technologies and industry trends.
Yeah.
It's an investment in your future, and those who make that commitment can open doors to specialization supervisory roles, even transitioning into related fields like engineering or design.
So it's not a dead end by any means.
No, not at all.
There's real potential to climb the ranks.
Definitely.
I'm curious,
Yeah.
what does that career ladder look like?
Okay.
Does RoleCatcher break it down?
They do. RoleCatcher lays out a pretty clear progression,
Okay.
starting with entry-level positions.
Right.
Think of it as an apprenticeship.
Okay.
You're assisting seasoned assemblers,
Right.
learning the ropes,
Yeah.
getting comfortable with different engine types,
Right.
and those all-important assembly processes.
Okay.
It's about observation,
Yeah.
asking the right
Yeah,
questions,
yeah.
and gradually taking on more responsibility.
So it's all about soaking up knowledge like a sponge
Exactly.
and proving you can handle the heat.
Yeah.
What kind of tasks would an entry-level assembler typically tackle?
Imagine this. You're assisting with the installation of prefabricated parts,
Okay.
carefully reviewing those technical drawings to guarantee everything is spot on,
Mm-hmm.
and learning the ins and outs of basic inspections and tests.
Okay.
It's about mastering the fundamentals and building confidence.
It makes sense to start with a strong foundation before moving on to the more complex stuff.
Right.
So how does an assembler know when they're ready for the next step?
As you gain experience
Okay.
and consistently demonstrate your abilities,
Mm-hmm.
you'll progress to more challenging tasks.
Okay.
Instead of just assisting,
Right.
you'll start leading assembly projects.
Okay, so now you're really in the driver's seat calling the shots.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
You're interpreting those technical drawings independently,
Wow.
troubleshooting issues on your own,
Mm-hmm.
and you might even find yourself mentoring newer assemblers,
Really?
passing on the wisdom you've gained. There's even the potential to get involved in developing or refining assembly procedures,
Wow.
which is where that deeper understanding of engine mechanics becomes really crucial.
This sounds like the perfect stage for someone who thrives on taking initiative
Yeah.
and isn't afraid of a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who enjoys figuring things out.
Absolutely. This is also typically where the career path branches out.
Right.
Some assemblers might decide to specialize in a particular type of engine,
Right.
maybe focusing on diesel or those increasingly popular electric engines.
Yeah.
Others may discover a passion for leadership
Mhm.
and transition into supervisory roles, overseeing entire teams of assemblers.
Supervising a team has to come with its own set of unique demands.
Yeah,
I imagine strong leadership and communication skills would be crucial,
absolutely.
along with the ability to motivate and inspire others.
For sure.
Is there a final rung on this career ladder?
You bet.
Okay.
For those who are truly passionate and driven,
Mm-hmm.
there's the most senior level. Here, it's not just about leading a team.
Right.
It's about shaping the entire assembly process.
So this is where you become the go-to expert, the Yoda of vessel engine assembly.
That's a great way to put it.
Ah,
At this level, you're reviewing and approving those crucial technical drawings,
okay.
implementing quality control measures,
Mhm.
and you might even collaborate directly with engineers to improve engine designs and boost performance.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine going from piecing those engines together to influencing how those pieces are designed in the first place.
That's quite the journey. We've talked a lot about the upward climb.
Yeah.
But RoleCatcher wouldn't be doing its job if it didn't paint the full picture.
Right.
What are some of the challenges someone might encounter in this line of work?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of challenges and rewards,
Yeah.
RoleCatcher doesn't shy away from the pros and cons, right?
You're right. Every job has two sides.
Yeah.
While this career path clearly offers incredible opportunities for growth and specialization, it's important to consider the full picture.
Lay it on us. What are some of the realities of working in a shipyard and with these massive engines?
Well, for starters, it's not exactly a walk in the park.
Right.
Remember how we talked about those shipyards and manufacturing plants?
Yeah.
Those environments can be intense.
Okay.
Loud noises are pretty much constant, and heavy lifting is part of the daily grind.
Yeah, I was picking up on that.
Yeah,
I imagine safety gear is non-negotiable in that kind of setting.
you got it. And it's not always the most comfortable work either.
Really?
We're talking confined spaces,
Okay.
working at heights.
Right.
Sometimes having to contort yourself into some interesting positions to get the job done.
Okay, so you need a certain level of physical stamina and flexibility.
Yeah.
Not exactly a desk job, that's for sure. What about the work itself?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any downsides there?
Well, it can get repetitive.
Right.
You're often doing the same tasks over and over again,
Yeah.
especially when you're first starting out. It's all about precision and consistency,
Mm-hmm.
but that can be a drag for some personalities.
I can see that. Not everyone is wired for that kind of repetitive work.
Right.
Anything else to consider?
Deadlines in this industry can be tight,
Okay.
especially when you're working on a project with a hard launch date.
Right.
Overtime can be unavoidable sometimes.
That's a good thing to keep in mind. So it sounds like this career path isn't for the faint of heart,
Right.
but it does offer unique rewards for those with the right temperament.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, you mentioned RoleCatcher also highlights some of the pros of this line of work.
Absolutely. One of the biggest perks is job security.
Okay.
The maritime industry thrives on skilled professionals, and those skills are always in high demand.
All right.
Plus, it's a hands-on field where you see the direct results of your hard work.
Yeah.
You're not stuck behind a desk pushing papers. You're
Uh-huh.
building something real, something powerful.
That has to be incredibly rewarding.
Yeah.
Seeing those engines roar to life, knowing you had a hand in building them.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine those specialized skills also translate into some decent earning potential.
You're right on the money.
Yeah.
Because of the specialized knowledge and skills required, vessel engine assemblers can earn a very respectable living,
Okay.
especially as they gain experience and move up the ranks.
So you've got job security, the satisfaction of creating something tangible,
Right.
and the potential for a good salary.
Yeah.
That's a pretty compelling package. Before we let you go, I have to ask, what's the expert's pro tip for someone considering this career path?
It boils down to one word: meticulousness.
What?
You're not just assembling an engine.
Yeah.
You're building reliability into a system that people depend on sometimes with their livelihoods at stake.
That's a huge responsibility. No room for good enough in this line of work.
Exactly. Attention to detail is paramount.
Right.
Every bolt, every gasket, every connection has to be perfect.
It's about having pride in your craft, knowing that the work you do has a real impact on the world.
Precisely.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
Yeah, it has.
We've covered a lot of ground, from deciphering complex technical drawings to the importance of meticulousness in a high-stakes environment.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear that vessel engine assembly is more than just a job.
Right.
It's a skilled trade that demands precision, dedication, and a passion for building the heart of massive vessels.
For sure.
A huge thank you to RoleCatcher for providing such insightful resources.
Absolutely.
And to our listeners, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity. Remember, whether you're dreaming of building the engines that power a global trade, or simply fascinated by the inner workings of these mechanical marvels, there's a whole world of knowledge out there waiting to be explored.
It is fascinating.
Until next time, keep asking questions and keep diving deep.